August 2022. Alright, right here to get people talking on the topical issue that we have this morning. We are right here at the bus stop by the newspaper stands, and we have bystanders deliberating on the topical issues that we have on the national dailies this morning. Once again, welcome to the program. I am Christian Chuku. Let's start with the Nigerian Tribune this morning, the Nigerian Tribune, and also we have the Nation newspaper, the Nigerian Tribune, and the Nation newspaper. Let's go the top right. World Bank excludes Nigeria from $350 million food security cash. World Bank excludes Nigeria from $350 million food security cash. Court declines government request to extradite Abba Kyari to the United States. Court declines federal government's request to extradite Abba Kyari to the United States. Tinubu is saying that I am here for a higher calling. I'm here for a higher calling. Gas-powered buses for use on Marina Aja Ekwe route. Gas-powered buses for use on Marina Aja Ekwe route. Let's look at ASU declares total indefinite strike. ASU declares total indefinite strike. State universities not under obligation to implement federal government agreements with unions. State universities are not under obligation to implement federal government agreements with unions. PDP crisis setback for Atiku Wike reconciliation. PDP crisis a setback for Atiku Wike reconciliation. Atiku's men rally party organs for Chairman Ayu. Something will happen soon, says Rivers Governor. Something will happen soon, says Rivers Governor. Votes for capital projects unlikely in budget 2023, says Finance Minister. Votes for capital projects unlikely in the 2023 budget. This is coming from the Finance Minister. As the federal government plans 19.76 trillion budget with 12.41 trillion deficits, 19.76 trillion naira as our budget come 23, and 12.41 trillion naira as a deficit. Let's look at the story. Finance, Budget and National Planning Minister Hajia Zainab Ahmed painted a grim picture of the economy yesterday. She said the federal government may not be in a position to include any treasury funded capital projects in next year's budget estimates. Mrs. Ahmed also hinted that the deficit in the 2023 fiscal year may hit 11.30 trillion naira to 12.41 trillion naira. Let's look at the ASU declaring total and indefinite strike. The academic staff union of universities yesterday declared a comprehensive, total and indefinite strike. It cited the alleged failure of the federal government to address its demands. The leadership of the union said the indefinite strike took effect from 12:01 a.m. yesterday. ASU took the decision at the end of an emergency National Executive Council meeting at its secretariat in Abuja. Yes, let's look at the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Chief of Defense Staff's disclosure on manned borders worrisome. Chief of Defense Staff's disclosure on manned borders worrisome. That is from Afefere. More than 150 unmanned borders in Nigeria. 150 porous borders in Nigeria. Federal government unveils 19.76 trillion naira expenditure for the 2023 fiscal year. Federal government unveils 19.76 trillion naira expenditure for the 2023 fiscal year. Plans 3.36 trillion for subsidy mid-year, 6.72 trillion full year. Reps express concern over 11.30 trillion deficits for the 2023 against the 7.35 trillion for 2022. Okay, I'll expose politicians are planning to continue looting Nigeria. Wike, I'll expose politicians planning to continue looting Nigeria. That means they have been looting, and he wants to expose them to stop them from the continuation of their looting. Appeal Court restores Oberewori as debtor, PDP governorship aspirant. The battle between former Governor Eboru and also the current Governor Okowa. Oberewori is an ally to the current Governor Okowa. The Appeal Court has restored his PDP governorship candidates. Oyo APC threatens to expel Akintola for alleged anti-party activities. Oyo APC threatens to expel Akintola for alleged anti-party activities. The main headline on the Nigerian Tribune this morning: as ASU extends strike indefinitely. Eminent Nigerians, Pandev, Afenifere, YC profile ways to end impasse. Ubani, Yusuf Ali, Tunji Abayomi, Parents Association speaks. The picture on the Nigerian Tribune this morning, yesterday, at the Lagos State Secretariat. Okada riders protest again at Lagos Assembly. The picture shows Okada riders in their numbers protesting over the ban on Okada in some local governments of the state. Okada riders protest against again at Lagos Assembly. Explosion rocks gas plant near Redemption Camp. 2 injured, 4 tankers burned. Explosion rocks gas plant near Redemption Camp. 2 injured, 4 tankers burned. As court rejects the federal government request to extradite Abakari to the United States. Now, point of focus: solution to Nigeria's problems lies within and among Nigerians. Bolaji Akinyemi. With that, let's call on Eze Matthew. Good morning.
This is
honorable. Okay, let's start with the solution to Nigeria's problem lying within Nigerians.
Who is saying that?
Bolaji Akinyemi. Bolaji Akinyemi. Let me read the story.
No, you don't need to start reading it.
Okay.
Because when the person says that the solution to Nigerian problem lies with Nigerians, you begin to ask some questions. Because if you want to do anything outside...
He's the president of the Nigerian Academy of International Affairs.
What I'm trying to say in essence is, if you want to do anything outside the constitution, they will see you as a dissident, and the government will roll out drums and start fighting the people. Because what we understand is that is why the democratic process is provide an ample opportunity for people to decide how they want to be governed, who they want to govern them going forward. But I think that is the only way and the major avenue through which the citizens can determine who rule them and how the government should be run. So if the person is speaking in that directive, I think the person may be right. Because I can understand that, like in Nigeria, going by the tenets of the constitution, peaceful protest is entrenched in Nigerian constitution. But to what extent are Nigerians allowed to exercise those constitutional provisions? We have seen in recent past an attempt for Nigerian youths to exercise that right, how the government used brute force to stop it, and not just stopping it, ending lives of Nigerian youths in their numbers. So for me, I share the opinion that the problem of Nigeria to an extent lie with Nigerians, but a larger part of it lie with the government. Because once you vote a government in place, there is little or nothing the citizens can do. Like we saw the rhetorics of Muhammadu Buhari in 2015. In some part of the country, specifically in the north, they see him as Megaskia, as in an honest person. But under his watch, look at what has happened. Muhammadu Buhari has gotten so much concession from Nigerians. Under this government, we are witness hardship, and people are resilient, are not complaining. I don't think Nigerians will take this level of hardship under Jonathan or under Obasanjo. So, and this is somebody who have gotten enough leverage to perform, yet he didn't perform. So for me, I think the government have a lot to do when it comes to bettering the life of Nigerians and turning things around. Because the constitution gives the government enormous power, so much power. The one that is given to the citizens by the constitution, the government through Nigerian police, army, DSS, SEDON don't allow Nigerians to exercise it.
Okay.
So for me, I think the government is the one that has what it takes to solve.
Okay, let's look at our 2023 budget, 19.76 trillion naira expenditure, and also 11.30 trillion naira deficit. That means we are going to borrow next year 11.30 trillion naira.
You are not even looking at the larger picture, because if you go read that statement further, it tells you that capital budget is not captured. You are looking at expenditure of about 19.something trillion, and out of that total amount, you are saying, we are not even talking about deficit this time, that you are not thinking of capital projects. So the question is, where and how do you want to expend that money? I'm of the view that National Assembly should not allow the government to borrow, because all the borrowing that have been borrowing, we are not seeing result on ground. If the government, if this year is already election year, and Muhammadu Buhari tenure elapsed May 29 next year. So if you are making a budget of 19 trillion, and before you know it, they will tell you that they have recorded about 50, 60, 70% level of budget performance, because they would have expended the money without anything to show for it. Some of the view that National Assembly should not allow them to borrow. They should budget within their means. Okay. Because all the budget that have been budgeting, all the borrowing that have been borrowing, we are not seeing results. Look at the budget loot that they say they want to return. That 23.something million US dollar. They are already telling us that some is going into second Niger bridge. Some is going into, some amount is going into Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Yeah. And this road project that have been budgeted for, that the government is already expending fund on, that already had last span based on the budgetary allocation, and the money that was not budgeted for, that the government wants to receive, you are telling us that you are going to put it in those projects. That's why I'm of the view that even that money, they should not release it now.
If you say that they should stop borrowing, then how would they continue?
They should borrow in their means, because all the borrowing we are borrowing, they claim to be borrowing, we are not seeing the result. Is it not part of the borrowing money they are borrowing? We saw the suspended Accountant General of the Federation being accused of embezzling 109.7 billion. So where is the project we are using to execute when someone is being accused of embezzling such amount? Is it out of the money they have been borrowing? We are now witnessing that 1.48 trillion have been used to carry about turnaround maintenance on our refineries, and there is no turnaround maintenance anywhere. So what are you borrowing for? You borrow and embezzle it.
Those things are still on the court litigation. There's litigation.
They are merely borrowing and embezzling it. If you say it is being is a subject of litigation, is it not on record that none of our refineries is producing? Is any of, I challenge you to mention any of our refineries that is producing currently. Mr. Christian, I challenge you.
The one in Niger Republic is working.
I don't know of Niger Republic. I'm talking about Nigerian 4 refineries. I challenge you. People are listening to you. Tell Nigerians and the world any refinery that
so
is.
If you become the president now, would you say if there's a need to
get it from this angle? Okay. I say SERAP, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, is in court with federal government over expenditure of 1.48 trillion naira to carry about turnaround maintenance on our refineries. So it has been established that that amount has been expended, and it's established that there is a case in court, and it's established that none of the refineries is refining. So is it not part of the money that have been budgeting? What are we saying?
There's what they call work in progress. So if
work in progress
now,
is there any time the government have come out to give us updates about the level of maintenance of the refineries? So for me, that borrowing and embezzling is something we should discourage.
You know my question. You understand my question?
Your question is what?
If you become the president, if you are in the president's shoes, and we have all these litigation, these corruption cases, and there's a need for money, and you have the wherewithal to borrow money, won't you borrow money?
If I'm in the president's shoes, one, people who have been jailed for corruption, former governors, I will not pardon them. I will not use my right of prerogative of mercy to pardon them. Two, if I were the president, If an acting chairman of EFCC is accused of corruption, and on the strength of that accusation, I set up a panel that investigated and indicted him, I will make sure my government do the needful by prosecuting him. I will not allow such person to go back to the police force and be promoted. If I were to be the president, I will not allow an accountant general of the federation who have access to public fund, who have breached that trust that is given to him by the government. I will not allow him to be working freely. If I were to be president, I will not allow corruption to fester. So it's a different ballgame to say if I were there, because what I would have done, you see, Mr. President came in with so much goodwill. Nigerians expected so much from him, but as it stands, Mr. President has liquidated all the goodwill he came in with. You cannot today talk about Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari as an anti-corruption crusader. You cannot say it today. That used to be the slogan in the past. But today you cannot say Mr. President is ready to fight corruption.
What you are saying that the next fiscal year you use it to recover money.
What I'm saying is
cut down costs.
Cut down costs is the way to go. But what I'm saying specifically is, if you have been borrowing over the years, we are not seeing result on ground, then budget within your means. There's no point borrowing, and at the end of the day, the borrowing. Look at all the projects we are seeing from rail projects, which is not the anyway. We don't even know the contractual agreement between Nigeria and Chinese government. What I'm saying is, in the face of this reality, stop this borrowing spree and budget within your means. Look at the issue of subsidy. Government claim that is where our revenue is being
6.something trillion
is being affected. How can you tell me that we are consuming up to 64 million liters of PMS a day? It's practically not correct. Before Jonathan left office, records show that we are consuming between 30 to 35 million liters a day. And that is even not realistic. Under COVID-19, the government made us to believe that we consume average of 50 million liters a day of PMS. So if you look at the figures, it's showing that somebody somewhere is busy writing figures and collecting subsidy on that basis. And somebody wants to borrow to complement what they would have using oil fund to do. So why do they continue borrowing? Nobody is talking about budget padding now.
Voted against subsidy, and they called it a scam. So what changed?
You see, when this government was in opposition, they said there is nothing like subsidy. But they were it's unfortunate that Nigeria people play politics with everything. I cannot stand here to tell you that there is no subsidy, even in the face of this government facing the challenge. But the problem is that the amount they claim to be using to subsidize PMS is not the actual amount. The amount of the number of PMS, the number of liters of PMS they claim that we are consuming is not the actual liter we are consuming, because we have an issue on hand where unscrupulous enemies take Nigerian product to neighboring countries because the product is cheaper in Nigeria than what is being sold in a place like Niger, Cotonou, that's Benin Republic, and all that. But you have a government in place that have all the security agencies that need to check all these things. And at the end of the day, you tell us PMS that is meant for Nigerian market, Nigerian consumers, you take it to neighboring countries, and you are paying subsidy based on what other people are consuming. So for me, I think it's a holistic failure on the part of this government.
Okay. Yes, Nigeria is missing in the list of beneficiary countries for the $350 million World Bank Fund for African countries to support food security. Let's look at food security in Nigeria and how the Nigerian government have handled food security.
You cannot say the government. I think all this government does is rhetoric, trying to use propaganda to hoodwink the gullible Nigerians. Why did I say so? This government made us to believe that we are returning to the farm, and currently the government made us to believe that major part of what we consume is being produced in Nigeria. Now the question is, why are we not paying higher for a bag of rice, for a dedica of rice that used to sell for about 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 in 2015? Why is it not selling for 30,000 now? When you are producing, the cost of importing is not there. So why? It means the government is not telling us the truth. So when you talk of food security, I think the government is merely using propaganda to hoodwink Nigerians. And whether they like it or not, the era of propaganda has gone. Because Nigerians can now see that all they said in 2015, they were not able to deliver on those promises. And all their policy to bring about food production, that you have not yielded any good results. Because if you have yielded results, there is no way we'll be paying higher for locally produced rice, for instance. So for me, this government is a government that strives on deceit and gimmick.
Okay, let's look at court declines government's request to extradite Abakari to the U.S. Without this, they are saying that they don't have much evidence to.
No, I think it didn't bother on evidence. It borders on the man being prosecuted in Nigeria for a similar case and extraditing him to America to face a similar case. But again, I think I will fault the office of the Attorney General of the Federation. Because I've been issued, this is a law officer, the one that prosecutes on behalf of the federal government. I think he should have known the right thing to do. That prosecuting Abakari in Nigeria will be an impediment in extraditing him to United States of America for prosecution. Don't forget that America already made the request for his extradition before Nigerian government started playing all these rules and jimmy game of how to arrest and prosecute him on the basis of that drug issue. What I'm trying to say is, if they know that the prosecution here is going to act as hindrance to his extradition, there's no point in initiating those prosecution. Because in Nigeria, our legal system, our criminal legal system is not getting it right. We have seen in the past where a former governor in this country will go to court and he be discharged and acquitted. And he go to Britain, he pleaded guilty because he was faced with overwhelming evidence. So for me, I think the office of the Attorney General of the Federation is playing game with that case.
Let's look at Shekarau moves to the PDP from NNPP.
You see
a big boost for the people's democracy.
No doubt it's a big boost. It's a boost. But you see, we are in an era of politics where you see the alignment and all that. Politics is all about, especially in Nigeria, it's all about pecuniary interest. It's all about what do I get. Because if you look at the reasons adduced to by Shekau for leaving NNPP to PDP, it borders on his followers not being adequately compensated and accommodated in elected positions. Because according to the reports we have read, that he got a senatorial ticket from NNPP, but he wanted to secure positions for his followers. That didn't happen according to NNPP, that before he came in, they already did primaries in almost all the elected positions. But however I look at it, all we are seeing in Nigeria is as a result of what do I get. I said here the other day that politics is the madness of many for the benefit of few. So at the end of the day, we are looking at, the politicians are looking at how do I position myself to benefit in 2023. So it's all about their pecuniary interest. But no doubt, it is going to boost the electoral fortune of PDP and their candidate, Quiz Atiku in Kano State, 2023. There's no doubt about that.
Protest at Lagos Assembly.
Lagos have not hidden his disdain for Okada riders. But again, I think as a person, I would have loved a situation where Lagos State would tread with caution. Because however I look at it, these are Nigerians who are legitimately looking on for how to make ends meet. And you cannot criminalize all Okada riders. I can understand the position of the government that it is through Okada that you record more accidents and that they want to contain crime. But again, you now ask question: do you throw away the baby with the bathwater? I don't think it's right to throw away the baby with the bathwater, because the challenges you see that comes with Okada riders, commercial Okada riders, you equally see challenges with people who use even commercial buses, shuttle buses. Do you now abolish shuttle buses? We are seeing instances where you see plane crash. Do you say because of that you shut down Nigerian airspace. What you do is you carry out an investigation, you put policies in place to mitigate it. Yesterday we are talking about Lagosians who died as a result of air pollution that runs into about 30,000, and that the children of 0 to 12 months is half of it. And we are talking of a government that needed to come up with policy to mitigate it. That is how a government should reason. If you see Okada riding as a menace, and you know that there are some people who are doing it to earn legitimately, what you do is you come in to regulate it. You put policies in place to make sure there is sanity, not just abolishing it because perhaps you think that Okada operation is threatening your own state-owned bus system. That is why I see it.
That's what you see. That the Okada riding in Lagos is affecting.
Because you notice that recently,
transportation revenue from Lagos State.
You notice that recently Lagos State is trying to diversify into all these small buses that can enter some routes that all those long buses cannot enter. So they feel that the Okada riders, because it's easy to use Okada for transportation in some areas, so I feel that they feel that the Okadas are threatening their own business venture. So that is why I see it. Otherwise, a reasonable government will look for ways, policies to address a challenge, not killing that business.
Define politics.
I've said it before now. I say it's the madness of many for the benefit of few.
Okay,
thank you for having me.
Mr. Matthew, my big brother. Good morning.
God bless you, my brother.
I don't know if I will start by asking, define politics.
Well, if you want us to start by that, it's still a game. So, thank you very much. Well, politics is just a game, which to me, I don't want to give a layman definition. Politics is a game which brings about division for a particular position. That is how I view politics.
Okay, now we are looking at Okada riding in Lagos State. Yesterday was a protest at the Lagos Assembly. What do you think should be done to this Okada menace in Lagos?
Really, to me, good morning, my viewers all over the world. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here once again. My name is Eze.
Okay.
So, to me, on this basis of banning Okada riding, to me, I believe at this point it is actually a welcome idea. I want to go against what my previous Mr. Martins just said, because to me this Okada riding has really caused more harm than good to we the Nigerian citizens. One thing we don't actually look at is the consequence of whatever action we are taking. You know, allowing these Okadas to operate at free will, they've always been causing more harm. I have a friend who, of course, is amputated today because of this Okada riding. Because these people, they don't train them, they drive recklessly. And the two, they are now using it to perpetrate evils all over the town. More especially now that we are in a system where we are complaining about insecurity. I want to commend the government for at least the ban. It's not a total ban, it's a partial ban. So it's for them to correct themselves and for government to be able to man their guards on how to maintain peace and order in the state. So to me, it's a welcome idea. People might not want to buy into it. Yes, whatever policy government brings today, not all the citizens will buy into it.
But you said that they should regulate it instead of banning it.
Listen, let me tell you. At this point, there is no other means of regulation than you banning partially. Because one, I heard him said because the Okadas are not making the other people to other commercial whatever to make money.
Affecting their revenue.
Listen, it's not affecting anything. Government is also making money from this Okada people because they sell tickets to them. Are you getting it? So they are making money also from there. Why are you complaining that because they brought their own? Even the buses they brought, it still don't make any difference because you still see the painted ones are still working. So what are they stopping people? They know Lagos is too populated, but at the same time they need to cut or manage their domain on how security is supposed to be. So the idea to that is for them to ban That stock. Thank you.
Okay, ASU declares a total indefinite. This is indefinite strike. The other we're doing the past 6 months is warning strike. Indefinite strike. What's the future of?
Oh, my people, it's quite unfortunate. That is where I want to start with. That we have a government. When you know a government who is not for the people, because we said this is democracy. Government for the people and the people. Government by the people, for the people, and not from all of them, all the same. So this is not government for us. That is my number one. This is government for few, not for everybody. And the few are those lunatics who has mimed their way into the government. A lot of them go to them now. You can see them fighting. How can you say education should be the priority of a man who does not have certificate? What do you see to that, my people? We saw this coming in 2014 when they were clamoring that this man does not have certificate. But we were so gullible enough that a lot of Nigerians did not see this coming. But I'm happy that things like this happening is a sign of lesson for every Nigerian to know what to do at this time. We are now in a period where election is ongoing. So this is time for us now to correct any mistake that has been done in the time past. So if we make the same mistake now, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know, 6 months is like almost a session.
Yes,
1 year has gone already.
Now, look at, no. When you want to talk about it now, look at, as you're going into an indefinite, it makes no sense anymore. Just continue your strike, go your 1 month, because your indefinite is as if you are trying to do what you were supposed to do before. That is what you are trying to do now. No, you people have started bargaining with the federal government. Even if it doesn't work out, still keeping people posted, giving them hope by 1 month, extending it. It's understandable. Now you are saying indefinite. That means all hope is lost. To me, all hope is lost. So there's no going back.
What of Labour Party? Where is Labour Party?
Labour Party.
No, Labour Congress. Nigeria Labour Congress. Sorry.
No, see, let me tell you. Before 2015, Labour has been bought over. They've been compromised. The Congress. Are you getting it? Labour Congress has been compromised. Now they are trying to fight their way back, which I know they don't have the grounds. When you see activists like Oshomole in a time past, who was a very serious Labour comrade,
Chairman,
today is now a politician, whining and dining with those same people you were fighting with. When you look at these activists who are supposed to be Labour comrades, the likes of Kiamo, where you find them today, they are in the government. So it has been compromised. Whoever that comes out to speak, they will buy him over. Just become vibrant today. The next 6 months, they will buy you over. And that's how they start feeding you with nonsense. So, for me, Labour Congress, they need to overhaul their system. The Congress need to overhaul their system. They should know that they are for the ordinary man and not for their own pocket. Kudos to the current chairperson of this Labour Congress. I commend him for that 3-day.
Waba.
I commend him for that 3 days. They have started finding their way back. They should overhaul anybody. They should go back to their decision. Anybody who does nonsense. Can you imagine people coming out as Labour comrades, going back to go and get juicy position from the government? What makes you a comrade? I don't understand how they.
Okay, lastly, let's look at next year. We have 19.76 trillion naira for our budget, and out of that 19.76, we have 12.41 trillion deficit. That means we cannot account. We cannot
account for.
Not even account. We cannot.
They don't have
fund.
It's not physical.
Fund. We cannot fund.
Deficit is you are running at loss.
Yeah, we cannot fund that.
So they can't on their own. Except you want to make them go back to that same point that they've been borrowing.
And that means we
have to borrow
12 point something.
Up to 19 points.
No, 12
points. 12. Can you imagine? and we have a government. This is a nation. Oh man, this is a country who is richly blessed. Where are the golds? Where are the bitumen? Where are the limestones? Where are all these natural resources God gave to us? I don't even want to divert into that oil, because that has been a curse, not a blessing to us. Where are all these natural resources? We were very good in agriculture. Can you see? This is where we put ourselves into. We gave our affairs to people who will damage it. People who does not have that IQ, that understanding of what it takes. People who does not have these nations at heart. That was the people we went to give, and now they are still coming back in disguise. God will punish you now. You're gonna shoot head again. Honestly speaking, I have to say this. This is no time for us to be diving into anything. If they do nonsense this trip, I will show anybody nonsense this trip.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
my brother. Yes, click on the like button so that we can have more reach. This morning, we are not using StreamYard, so there will be no calls today. But tomorrow, we will consistently use the StreamYard because of some technical issues that we had. Okay, we want you to comment also. We can read out your comments this morning on what we are discussing this morning. Look at the budget, 19.76 trillion naira as our budget. Deficit, we cannot fund currently 12.41 trillion naira. Exactly. Okay, yes. Also, we have indefinite strike by ASU. We have Shekarau finally joins the PDP. Okada riders also protest at Lagos Assembly. These are other topics we are looking at this morning. I have Otumba Kunle. Good morning, Otumba.
Yeah, morning.
Yes,
Morning.
Yeah, you're always an activist, actively active.
Yeah, I need to be active because I'm tired of all this system I'm witnessing now. I'm tired. Serious. I have to be tired. You know, it's not.
Did you see the budget?
This is not a dream country we dreamt of.
19.76 trillion naira for 2023, and we cannot fund 12.41 trillion. That means we are going to borrow next year. We are likely to borrow 12.41 trillion naira.
Who is going to borrow you 12.41 trillion naira? You could see just of recent there was charity funds they give to some country that may be going to that may be going to ecological issue. Okay. They omitted Nigeria. Exclude. Okay, this is another one.
Food security
food security cash. They omitted Nigeria because they know this is a country that it's a prodigal country that you cannot manage funds. The leaders of this country cannot manage funds. So why dumping money into the sea? Why pumping money into the sea? You give them money, they cannot account for it. You cannot account. There's no proper accountability in Nigeria. So what do you expect? Nobody wants to deal with a country that does not have value for money, that does not even, that is wasteful. A wasteful country, nobody will want to associate with you because any money they plow into your system, it's more or less that it's going to start draining, going to drainage. So to me, I don't know how they want to sustain. What I will advise the federal government is let everybody come together. This election, they can postpone this election because I don't see any reason. 360 million, I think billion or so, given to INEC. 360 or so. I think it's 360, going that figure, that given to INEC to organize the election. Census is still going to come, mind you. Census is going to come before election. And you know how much they are going to earmark for census. Why wasting all this money? For what is not just relevant? We know we are just guessing ourselves as 2020. We don't even know our population. That's the problem. And a country that does not put the population of the citizen into account cannot work. That country cannot achieve any prosperity. Just take it or leave it, because you don't know the amount of citizens you will cater for. You don't know how many your citizens are. You let the border loose. Intruders are coming in. Fulanis are coming in. Bororo Fulanis are coming in from different areas. Chad, Niger, all sort of things. So to me, Nigeria is a no man's land as it is, and a no man's land cannot have any accurate budget figure for a citizen. Because today you hear some people opening border, you hear some people locking border somewhere, the part of the country, while the other part of the country border is open for free for all. You know, so how can that country stabilize its economy when you don't have accurate statistics that will lead to stabilization of the economy? You ask every one of them now, what is our GDP? Nobody know. What is our GDP? Nobody know. Because there's nothing like GDP in Nigeria again. There's nothing like GDP as it is. And you see, the funniest thing is, some are swimming, still swimming in money, while some are starving, serious starving. Some don't even know what to do with the money. Few of them. And look at the situation we have, for God's sake. Are you not tired of the so-called Nigeria? Say Nigeria we healthy. We are pledged to Nigeria, my country, to be. Everything is all about scam. Your national anthem, scam. Your everything, scam. Nothing is working. Nothing is working. The destiny has been killed. It's the only country where you can never achieve your destiny. You can never. Your destiny must be tampered with the government policy, with just look at it. So it's better. Let's create a new atmosphere. Let us, everybody, sit down and look how can we, we are tired of this federalism. The federalism we are practicing, we don't even gain anything, we don't derive anything from it.
Is it the problem of leadership or the system?
It's the both. It's the system, the leadership, the followership. Because from the followership, you pick up the leadership. All these guys, they didn't just turn to leaders. They didn't turn to governor overnight. They picked them. They came out among the followership. They came out among the citizens. They will come out, cajole you, vote for me. I will do this. They get to that power. They disconnect with you. Say, thank God, I've escaped the poverty for life. So if you guys don't worry, we start boboing you. We will do this, we will do that. But you still want to fight them. They have the superiority of power with their money, with your taxpayers' money, your Commonwealth money, to fight you back. So what are we saying? What are we saying? It is the problem of everybody. We the followership that we don't even have a direction. When they say go left, you go left like cow and herdsman. You go left, when they say go right, you go right. Is this a country? It can never work. This kind of situation we have, everybody that is dreaming that it will be well for Nigeria is just waste. It can never work the way it is. Look at prayers we've been having all the while. Prayers everywhere, prayers, mosque, prayer, everything. Since with enough quantum prayer we've been having, this country is supposed to have turned to Amsterdam, supposed to have turned to Morocco. Let's even talk of Morocco as it is. Morocco is one of the best country economically in Africa now. That was why they said they don't even want to belong to OAU any longer. They just came back. They detached themselves from OAU, Organization of African Countries. They just absorbed them back. And when they came back, they made a statement that they wanted to host World Cup. Just to see that they are more developed, civilized like the Western country. How many Moroccans you see in Nigeria coming to lobby for a contract, coming to do labor work or the contract work here? Their country is very okay. That's just Africa, no, Northern Africa. And maybe it's because they are close to the white people. Look at Egypt likewise. Look at Egypt, look at Morocco. Look at, those are the nations we're supposed to be looking up to. Why are we so down to this level? It's a country that is just stagnant as it is. Okay. It's not stagnant.
Okay, let's look at our budget for 2023. 19.76 trillion naira for 2023. And we have a deficit of 12.41 trillion naira.
So you've got only 7 something trillion naira.
No.
19.
Okay, we can fund 7. We have the monies
to fund
7.
But
12 we don't have. That means we will borrow 12.
You borrow.
Yeah.
You borrow money to finance the economy.
You borrow this.
You borrow this 12 trillion. Who is going to borrow you this 12 trillion? Deficit. deficit. Who is going to borrow you? That's the question now. Is it Paris Club you're going to go? Paris Club that's already given you debt forgiveness. Is it World Bank you want to go to? All these people, they gave you debt forgiveness in 1999, 2000. They abandon, they forgive your debts and they pardon you, go scot-free and don't borrow no more. That is debt forgiveness.
We need to run the country, so.
Are you supposed to be running the country, this same Nigeria we are talking, with all the mineral resources that God bless? You see, that's why everybody that say God will do, God will do. Please, we should stop disturbing God. We should stop disturbing God. God has given us all what we need in this country. It's the mad leadership we have that are the problem. They are truncating the works of God in this country. We say, God, 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 we've been praying. Resources we have oil, we have gold, we have diamonds. Go everywhere, all the resources. Arable lands. The weather is as well is very fantastic, very okay. We don't hear anything like tsunami. We don't hear anything like earthquake. We don't look at in the morning, in the daytime, in the noontime. You see sunset. You see sun shining. At evening, the weather will calm down, cool. That's the sign of a good place to be. But the people inside are devils, man, evils. That's the problem. The Nigeria as its location itself is okay, but the people we have, the inhabitants of this country are the problem of this country. The country is so blessed with in all ways. Just look at it. Natural resources, oil. We were the 6th largest country supplier of crude producer in the country. See where we are today.
We can make it right.
How do we make it right? The damage has been done. Collectively, as it is now, with the population we have, 240 million, 220 they will say, 210 they will say. Nobody even know the right people that are Nigerians. Nobody can say this is the population of the Nigerian inhabited in Nigerians inhabited in Nigeria. Nobody can tell you that because we don't even know the numbers we have. We don't know how many we have. So, and if you don't know how many you have, do you want to plan? How do you want to plan? You see, I don't know. I still keep saying there's a curse, there's a spell on this country. I don't know who, maybe it's the innocent blood that has been killed and their blood is fighting back. That's just going spirit. That is just spiritually I'm saying, and it's coming to pass now. Why do you have resources? You don't know how to make use of it. You're going outside to borrow. South Africa there, as it is, apartheid country, how many are they? They are like 54 millions. They are like even less than 54 as it is. We are how many? We are 224. We cannot, utilize the opportunity of the populations. We cannot utilize the opportunity of the brains, brain we have in this country. We cannot turn it to a productivity country. We keep turning this country to a shame country, man. It's shame everywhere. But, it's shame everywhere.
We have another opportunity to turn everything around. We have 3 election at the corner.
That election, Christian, that election, that cannot change any leadership. Any leadership you keep having now is going to be be operating on a deceptive constitution. How's the foundation? Can you build a house? Can you change the structure of a house without not checking the foundation? You want to remodel this house now, you first of all check whether the foundation can stand the remodeling. Whether by the time you are knocking the wall, the whole thing may collapse. So you have to check. You bring soil structural engineer, soil engineers that will test the soil. They will check everything, whether the ground is strong enough to hold the reconstruction you want to do. Now you want to reconstruct Nigeria as it is. You have to go into the archive. Where you don't want to go, we still have to go there. Go back to the archive. Where was the MacPherson constitution? And MacPherson's constitution. Bring it out. Bring the colonial military constitution out and weigh everything. Which one are we going to amend inside it for us to be all right in this country? If it is going to be federal regional system we are going to practice, let us go that way. Let everybody handle his own region. Because the way it is now, my brother, you bring 10 of Obi, You bring 10 of Atiku, you bring 10 of Tinubu, nobody can fix because the foundation is. That is why you see everybody agitating now. Everybody agitating. We clamoring. Give us our region. Let us go. Everybody, they can still be handshake across the river. They can be handshake. It's not that we war. Let's all sit down. When we try all this system, it doesn't pay us. Then how do we do now? Let us go straight to the solution of this country. We just be saying God. We are disturbing God every day, but we are not doing the needful.
Let's talk about the Okada riders. There was a protest at Atalanta yesterday over the ban of Okada in some local government area of the state.
Yeah.
What do you think should be done to them? Look at them.
It's too late. It's too late for anything to be done. The maladministration, the bad system of governance produce all this Okada, produce Agbero on the street, produce touts, produce cultism in the country. When a father is just busy of selfishness, busy of just acting selfishness, acting on a selfish way, selfishly. Thank God for that. Thank you for that. When a leader is acting selfishly and he abandons the children, a father, and he abandons his children on the streets, you never cater for the well-being of your children, you never cater of the education of your children, you never cater how to structure, reshape the life of your children. You are busy you are busy stealing, and these children are saying that let me to help myself. Okada, if the Okada can ride, now you want to cut that source of income off. It should be difficult now. Do you want to send them to early grave with starvation? If you want to send them to early grave, that's just their source of income, because the government that's supposed to be the source of their income neglected.
I see family men.
You see
family
them?
Men here.
They are graduates among them. They are graduates among these Okada riders. Marua, they are graduates. Korokpe, they are graduates. We can go there now and maybe do our feasibility studies. There, they are, they are graduates among them. There was a time Dangote said he needs driver. He needed driver to work in his refinery and the Ibeshe cement. The majority of people that applied were graduates. Some doctors, some are doctorate degree, older, driving. You see how useless this country turns to. You see how the country of those days, before you leave university, jobs are waiting for you. Different offers are waiting for you. Company will be offering you cars. Now, as a graduate today, nobody look at you. It's as if you are a primary school certificate holder, or you are a secondary school GCE holder. That is how our education are deteriorated too, right? So a country that you are just stagnant, you are not moving forward, you are not moving backward. The best thing is to model yourself. How do we going to get out of this?
How do we get out of this?
I've told you, it's a simple thing. McPherson constitution, the military constitution, bring them apart. Let everybody sit down. This is a time to be serious now. You can fool somebody for a while, but you can't fool somebody forever. We've been fooled a lot that Nigeria is going to be is going to be okay. We are a giant of Africa. Giant without structure, giant without planning, giant without everybody is just doing what they like. They will bamboo you to vote for them. They get to power, they turn their face against you. So the best way is let everybody. We are not much. Maybe they say we are regional. We can count ourselves. We can bring ourselves together on a round table. My brother, look ourselves highball to highball. Truth has to be told. Things cannot work the way we structure this country. Okay. Let us have a referendum. If we can have a referendum, you will see solution to this country problem. This country problem is not about one leader coming to come and tell you that he wants to repair Nigeria. Look at a lot of them that has been coming since 1999. Obasanjo came, he tried his bits, he went all around the universe to beg for forgiveness of the dead, to beg for people to respect the image of Nigerians. When he left, Yar'Adua came in, he did his own bits. When he left, Jonathan came in, he did his own bits. But those bits they were doing They were doing halfway. If I want to score all of them, I will score them 4 over 10. 4 over 10. The one I will give 5 over 10, which is Yaradua. Atiku. I mean, what's it called? Obasanjo. I will give Obasanjo 4 or 5 over 10. Yaradua, I can still give him 6 with the little time. These are leaders, a leader that can coordinate things, that can bring peace within. I mean, you could see what snowball. That is nearly snowball into war. The militancy. And he knew how to package them. He organized the whole thing. The economy settled down, and there was a high boom then. Things were going well, and he came out openly. That's the only leader he trustworthy. May God so rest in this peace. May so rest in peace. That he said he knows that the election that brought him was a flawed election, flawed election, and he came out. He said the truth. How many of these leaders can say the truth again? When there's no truth in the country cannot walk away.
Okay. Thank you very much, Otumba Kule. I have
Otumba Kule.
Mazi, good morning.
The election that brought in Yaradua, Yaradua came out and said there was many anomalies, irregularities. Listen, within that time of this confession, everybody accepted the man as a man of truth. So tell Sanwo-Olu that the election that brought him in 2015 was fraudulent. Tell him. So let me tell you, you don't just cast others and leave others, cast all of them. Election in Lagos State, PDP has been winning since 2007. They have been rigging till the last election we had.
I don't have that.
You don't have it. I have it.
Okay.
I have it.
You can show it to me.
Listen to me. So, like what you are saying again, let me tell you, Kula, let me tell you again. Nigeria is 62 years. Next month, we are going to celebrate 62. No, 2 months' time. 1st October. We are 62. And we are owing 54 trillion naira external debt. So by the time we get to 1st October, 2 months time now, Nigeria is going to owe 62 trillion naira. So Kule, you are scoring Obasanjo 5. You are not stable. 4 to 5%, 4 over 6. Yaradua, you scored him 5 before. Now you say 6. Let me tell you, score Jonathan how many? See, let me tell you, Yaradua regime, Yaradua was a president everybody knew as one of the best. But he could not reach there. He could not stay till his tenure expires. So what happened is that we give Yaradua the best president Nigeria has ever had. Yaradua performed well. Yaradua was the one that reconciled with the Niger Delta militants. You understand? When they began, they began giving them the amnesty. Until Jonathan era, Jonathan even gave them amnesty. So let me tell you, throughout all of them from 1999 to date, I come out to tell you that it's only Yaradua. Jonathan was busy that time, robbing pancakes, drinking kai, talking all manner of yahoo story. Jonathan had a confab in 2014. You should have implemented that confab and solved Nigerian problem. Are you listening to me? After that confab, the final solution to that confab or of that confab, we could not meet up because Jonathan could not implement it. Was it not just what are your grievances, Igbo? Ijo your own, Yoruba your own, Hausa your own. You settle it up. You know that the issue Nigeria has right from day one is this issue of restructuring, resource control. Federal government is in charge of the natural resources, vast natural resources of this country. Only federal. Now, it's not enough for them. Federal government is eyeing water resources. Anything that comes from the water, yes, fishes, dredging of sand, every resources from water, there are many. Listen to me. They want to control it too. Federal government want to take over Oyi River, Omabala River, Ezu River, Milogwe, Ububu, Mbupu. All these are streams, small rivers in my area. They want to control virtually everywhere. So that Fulani will take over everywhere in the southeastern Nigeria, everywhere in the southwestern Nigeria, everywhere in the mid-belt, everywhere in the south-south. So federal government, who are we? Those resources belongs to our youth, belongs to our fathers and mothers. Why do they want to take over everywhere? Nigerians, wake up! Okay. Mali and Senegal have subjected Nigeria to what? This kind of deprivations.
Yes, these Fulani people, they migrated from these two countries, Mali, Senegal, Gambia, Burkina Faso, all the Sahel countries of this West African states region. They are there, they have sold Nigeria to Senegal and Gambia. That's why Fulani, they have all it takes to be president in Nigeria. Not Hausa man, not Yoruba man, not Igbo man, not Ejo man, not Yoruba man, not Efik man. Fulani from desert, they have taken over everywhere. See, let me tell you, Fulanization process is on course. If Nigerians could make the worst mistake of their life, that is electing Atiku. If we elect Atiku comes 2023, that will be perfect. They will perfect it. Atiku is worse than Buhari, I predict. Atiku was part of Obasanjo regime. Yes, Atiku sold 300 federal government establishments. He pocketed the money. Christian, I know you could not contest.
No, I don't know about it.
Okay, you don't know about
pocketing the money. I don't know about it.
Jesus Christ is the Lord. He could not give account of the proceedings. He could not give account of the proceedings. Let me tell you, I back it up with evidence. How much has Atiku come out and tell us? Let Atiku come out and tell us the realization of Nikon Nuga. Yes, NDIC, Nikon, Bua, Nitel, name them, many of them, Ascon. How much did he realize? The proceedings, Nigeria Airways. Let me tell you, he sold and sold and sold with such audacity. Today, let me tell you, Atiku was bold then to be challenging Obasanjo to the level of bringing out secret documents they use, secretly transact. He transacted with Obasanjo. He showed it, he photocopied it, and they pasted it on the front page of the whole national newspaper in Nigeria. Atiku was so bold to tackle and withstood Obasanjo. He challenged Obasanjo, the #1 citizen, from 1999 to 2007. Two of them were at loggerheads.
He said, Mr. Raphael, can you tell us how Peter Obi, I know you're supporting Peter Obi, can change the Fulani agenda? How can Peter Obi change Fulani agenda?
Thank you so much, Oga question.
Frank.
Okay, Frank, my man, I'm going to tell you that Obi is coming to do his best in 2023. And I want to tell you again that no man is indispensable. No man is an island. No man can make a forest. A man cannot make a forest. If Obi comes 2023 without the support of you and I, Frank, Obi is going nowhere. If Obi comes 2023 without the support of the people in the house, National House, let me tell you, Obi is not going anywhere. If Obi is coming 2023 without, eventually he wins, the whole governors, the whole ministers, the whole lawmakers, both upper and lower chamber, they are not with him. They are not supporting him. They are not working with him. Let me tell you, Obi is not going anywhere. If Obi is coming 2023, Obi will be beating red, saying red. Ohaneze will be saying black. Arewa will be saying green. Afenifere is not behind him. Obi is not going anywhere. Let me tell you, a man can never make a group of people. Are you listening to me? Gidigidibu, where's the majority? Where's the king? Understand? Majority carries the. When the majority of Nigerians support him, that is what democracy is all about. I hope you are listening to me, Mr. Frank. Majoritarianism is the tenet of democracy. That is an English. Group of people. That means, if you don't work with him, he's not going anywhere.
Limited.
Yes, he's a human being. Obi cannot be a spirit. Okay, let me tell you, that does not stop me from supporting. I don't even support the referendum because it's not in Nigerian constitution. That does not stop me from supporting Odua Republic. Yes, that country is coming. Comes 1st October. Yoruba nation, I repeat again, is going to choke the whole world. Yoruba nation is going. Not all Yoruba has this information I have. I'm having this information within myself. There are many daft here. There are many daft everywhere that don't know anything about this. There are many. There are many people that don't know that Yoruba is springing up come 1st October.
No, you don't say.
I listen to me. So let me tell you, Yoruba is coming up. Come. Now let me talk.
Let me call your attention.
are you saying? Let me say, I have you. I have had you now.
You need to.
I will back up.
No, you want to back.
What are you saying?
I'm talking to you. You
What
need
are
to
you
listen to
saying?
me.
I'm hearing you now.
Let me talk.
Christian, you
Let me
need to
talk.
listen
Let me
to
talk.
me.
Let me talk.
Next time, tomorrow.
Next person. Next person.
What are you saying? Okay, I must talk.
No.
If I say I want to talk now, what do you want to say?
No, you cannot.
You always interrupt me and
You cannot. No, you cannot abuse people on this
platform. I don't
platform.
abuse anybody. I didn't.
You say people are daft.
There are doubts that I don't know. There are doubts that I don't know about it.
No. No. Come. Okay, let's look at some of the issues that we have this morning. Let's start with this Okada menace in Lagos. There was a protest yesterday at Lagos Assembly, and I want to ask, what do you think the government should do? Because this is becoming a problem.
About Okada?
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, banning Okada in Lagos State is the best thing so far to happen to Lagos State.
Okay.
Lagos State is not just a state because Lagos State is a symbol of Nigeria. Lagos State is the center of Nigeria. Lagos State is the kind of state that all the whole federation look up to survive, to thrive. So the way all this Okada from Niger, Fulani, all this, the way they bombarded the state or something like that, we can't continue like that because that will allow them to breach the security contract of Lagos State. And by the time they take over the state, we won't be able to manage them anymore. So many robbery cases we see in Lagos State today, it was perpetrated through Okada. So those is an access, easy way for them to maneuver and to go to wherever they are going to. But if a robber carry a gun, there is every probably that they might meet a traffic or whatever to apprehend them on the way. But Okada, they have their way. And those people, there are some Okada people there in Lagos to come and work with kidnappers, to come and work with armed robbers. Before you see, look at what is happening in most states today and some other states. They cannot sleep there with their two eyes closed. Before you see they kidnap. How do they kidnap? They will come through Okada and just apprehend somebody, put them, the person in the middle of Okada, and they take the person away. And we can't continue like that. Fine, people are protesting because of the economy of Nigeria, because the way the unemployment everywhere. But notwithstanding, we can't say because we want Nigeria youth to be employed that we should stay away from security. What is the meaning of employment of Okada people without a better security? They are the ones to come and kill people again at the end of the day, and nothing will happen. It's people that you can arrest, you can take to court or whatever. But look at what happened in those states. See, today, even if those people have been apprehended, killing 41 people is not a joke.
This number of persons without a job?
Yes, what I can say is this. Okada, on a more serious note, the question is, go and check the percentage of Okada rider in Lagos State. 71% of them, they are not educated. There are so many opportunities. In those days, you can see 5-7 people learning work in a mechanic place. They are not ready to do such kind of work again. They are looking for money suddenly. So what is there is this: if you learn a work, you can do your own work and you can make it. But you see Okada as an alternative to work. Okay, what about how can they leave Kano, Sokoto, other states or whatever to come and do Okada in Lagos State? So you get, they have a lot of people over in their places too. But Lagos State, if anything happens to Lagos State, things happening to the whole country. That's why Lagos State must do everything to make sure that they stop all these people because of security. That is just it.
Okay, let's look at our budget for next year. We have 19.76 trillion naira, and that is we might not be able to fund 12.41 trillion naira deficit. That means we are going to borrow this amount.
For now, I can tell you, Nigeria will continue to borrow for now. And I will tell you reason. It's because if you don't know, Professor Lodrobi said something about economics. That's a science that studies human behaviors. As a relation to science and scarce means we have alternative uses. We are talking about choice, wants, scarcity, scale of preference, opportunity cost, or we call real cost. The problem is this: Nigeria, we are a consuming country, and any consuming country will continue to borrow. We are not producing. We are not a country that manufactures. Everything we are doing in Nigeria, we have to import it to Nigeria before we can survive. So we have to borrow it before we have to import everything before we can survive. And any country that is a consuming country, they will continue to borrow because most things we are buying over there. If Nigeria can produce their own, if we can manufacture our own, there is no reason for us to be in debt or to borrow. But look at China. China produces almost 80% of what you use in the world today. That is why they are production country, they are manufacturing country, because they want to manufacture something like, okay, let's say this microphone phone is 1,000 naira. When you manufacture it, they are selling 5,000 naira. They make profit. But Nigeria, we have to borrow, we have to import, and because we are importing things we are using in Nigeria, so we have to borrow money because we need to produce to better our economy, but instead of that, we are consuming. So that is the problem we have in this country. Or else, until we have a government that is ready to start how we can implement how to manufacture in our country, to be able to produce one or two things. Ordinary to speak, we have to buy everywhere. We are importing it to Nigeria. So Nigeria is a failed country because of importation. That is the reason why we are borrowing, because we are a consuming nation. And any consuming nation will always be in debt. So for now, Nigeria will continue to borrow money from anywhere to survive.
If you are in government, if you are to advise the government, what would you advise her?
You know what we first need now, like I told people when we are talking about university, ASU or whatever, I said what we need in Nigeria, it's not about reading the papers. It's not about going to university and spend 5 years. We need more technical schools in Nigeria than all this university we are talking about. Just 2-3 years. Technical schools like this, from here to the end of that road is for the welding work, here from here to the other road is for tailoring work. By the time you put our sisters and brothers there, 2-3 years, give them diploma certificates. The 3 years they are there to learn and to read and to write a bit. Because you learn weather for 3 years, they now give you a certificate of diploma or HND. So the money they are giving to them for NYC, they should carry out the money, gather it together and pay them off. By the time you are done with your education with them, and go and start your own business. What is it we are doing? What is it? We are reading paper, but we are not doing anything in terms of what are we practicing in Nigeria? You are a laboratory student. Do you have equipment to even study what you even taught in school? So we need more practical schools than all these theory schools we are having in this country. So what we need to do in Nigeria now to be a better nation is we have to go back to in those days that we have companies that manufacture things. All our dead companies, we should bring them back so that by the time we manufacture, more youth will be employed and they will learn more. From there, the economy will be better. But in the position of we are importing almost everything. Even we are almost importing rice and gari to Nigeria now. So if we are manufacturing gari in Nigeria here, instead of all these Okada, people that are talking about Okada now, you can employ more than 1,000 people, more than 10,000 people all over the country, each state. From them we move on. So what we need is we need to go back to practice. Practical is what we need in Nigeria. It's not about what we are reading from the paper. All these ASU or no ASU. How many graduates are? Go and check the whole federation. We have so many graduates.
How many graduates are employable?
Yes, we have them every year. After the NYC, you turn to something else on the road. But what we need to do is that's what should be a practical schools, like technical schools, like you learn tailoring, you learn handwork. By the time you don't, let them give you certificate with HND certificate with the money of NYC, 500,000. Anytime when you are done, give it to them to go and establish and start their lives. From there, the idea they have, with the education they have, they will be more creative. They will do in a dimensional way, in a better way, because of the education they have. But if we don't go back to that kind of life in this country, we will never get it right, because everybody that we want, we need a collar job, office job. How many offices we have in this country? What we need to do is this: we need to go and learn how we can make this camera. When we can, people to come over to Nigeria to come and train us. So by the time 10 of us learn how to do it, 10 of us will train another 10. Before you see it, we become a country that will produce. We'll be selling it to other countries. By the time we make money from there, we use the money. Okay, look at Lagos State. Why are they coping in Lagos State? Lagos State, the reason why they are coping, right? They can't have problem is because they created so many parastatals to make money. We have plasma, we have plasura, we have plasma.
There's this one that for car parked on the street,
yes,
you pay money. Have you?
Yes. Do you know why it's like that? It's very good. I'm in support of that.
Okay.
There are some people, they will park their car on the street for 2-3 weeks. They won't come back to come and pick the car. And by the time you park your car,
you constitute.
When you park a car here, erosion will be coming through that car. This road you are looking at needs to be maintained. If you don't maintain, if you leave the car there in the next 2 months, come and check the land. There's going to be pothole there. So you can't have your car and drop it on the road and the constitution nuisance on the street for 2-3. So in Lagos, there are things you can do in Lagos. When you do it, you complain. Can you do that in City of London? Park your motor on the streets. Can you do that in Johannesburg and leave your motor in the streets? And you want the best of Lagos, but we are not ready to comply with the government. We have to join hands together. And part of it, we have to join hands together so that we can see the best of Nigeria. How can somebody have fire gun now that is not working? Instead of it to go and take it to dustbin, you now park in your streets and you now reduce the road. The vehicle cannot move very well. So it's not done that way.
No, you have not answered my question. If you are the Minister of Finance, what would you advise the federal government on this budget?
Yes. They still need to borrow. They will surely borrow. If they don't borrow, let me be sincere with you. If they don't borrow, in another 6 months, Nigeria will suffer a lot. Because the money they are borrowing now, that is the only way they can boost this economy a bit. If not, since COVID-19, we got it wrong. That COVID-19 you are looking at, do you know how much they are generating in a day? So we were home how many months? The NSAS came up also. So before we can balance, I must confess to you, all these things, what is it called? Obi, Atiku and Co, all these things they are saying it because they are coming to power. When they get there, it's not something that is going to be easy. To balance the economy of this country will take us nothing less than 10 years to get the best of Nigeria, not 4 years. How can you do it? 250 million people. You can speak, it's easy to say something, but to practice is so difficult. That is just it.
Okay, lastly, let's look at this. Okay, you spoke about ASU. I want you to speak on solution to Nigeria's problem lie within and among Nigerians from Bolaji Akiyemi.
Solution to Nigeria's problem
lie within Nigerians.
Yes. Let me say something to you. As far as I'm concerned, like I said, the best way to get Nigeria better, we need a regional system.
Regional system of government. Just conclude.
We need a regional system of government. I must be sincere with you. We need it very, very well. We need a regional system. See, the problem of this country is this. Number one, all our borders, they are not functioning. That's why we have so many Nigerians, so many Malians.
Somebody said so much. Discussion on man borders worrisome. That is apparently fair.
Yes.
Over 150.
Yes. So our borders are porous. They come in every day. So what we need is, and they are coming. They penetrate into Nigerians through the northern part of the country. So until we stop them, if we don't stop this, we can't get it right. Another question is this. I must confess to you, there are 3 things that divided this country that if we don't work on it, we are deceiving ourselves. Number 1, ethnicity. It's really, really affecting this country. Number 2, let me be sincere with you. The northerners don't see Nigeria as one. They see Nigeria as their birthright. Until the Yoruba manage the southwest, the Igbo manage the southeast and south-south, and the northern stay in their north. You as a person now, let me be sincere with you, let me say something. I've been to different police stations, not because I'm arrested. You can't get to any police station and see an aboki inside cell. They are not there. Once they are there like this, within 5 minutes, they just call like this, they release them. But you see Igbo and Yoruba there. Why? And we say we are one Nigeria. Most Okada people before Abakari was arrested, they have number of Abakari. They call him on phone one-on-one, and they will speak outside with them, we give the phone to DP or whatever. They will release them straight away. So what we need to do, as far as I'm concerned, to get this country out of this mess, look at Igbos and Yorubas, we are not brothers in politics. Hausa and Igbos, they are not brothers in politics. So because we are not speaking one voice, we cannot get the best of Nigeria. The only thing we need now is regional system. Let everybody manage their own territory first. But Hausa doesn't want us to go because apart from the farming, they have nothing. They have nothing. But Igbos, if we should live today, Igbo will not regret anything because they have resources over there. Yoruba too, we have our own. But Hausa are staying, they want to stay. The only reason why they are here is because they are many. That is number 1. Number 2, you know when the Nigerian system is being handed over, they gave it to an Hausa people. So from there, but we need a regional system, not one Nigeria.
Okay, thank you very much, comrade. Once again, your name. Thank you very much for your analysis. This morning, yes, we are closely coming to the end of the program. This morning, you can spot the difference when we talk about analysis on the streets. Different people with different mindset and different attitudes, but we'll all manage everything we'll see. Thank you very much today for being part of the program. I will say, tomorrow we will give you the opportunity to call in. We'll use StreamYard and give you the opportunity to call in for the program. I still remain Christian Chico on Bystanders at the Newsstands. Thanks for watching. Click on the like button. Bye for now. See you tomorrow.